Have you ever started something with excitement, only to abandon it halfway? Maybe you began learning a language, but stopped after 2 weeks. Maybe you started writing a book, bought all the supplies, but the notebook still sits empty. Or maybe you have 10 projects half done, and every time you look at them, you feel a wave of guilt. If that sounds like you, if your life is filled with unfinished dreams, then this story is for you. Because once, there was a man who couldn't finish anything he started, until one encounter taught him the secret that changed everything. Stay with me until the end. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by green hills, there lived a young carpenter named Marcus. Marcus was talented, full of creative ideas, but he had a problem that haunted him every single day. He couldn't finish anything. His workshop was a graveyard of half-built furniture, a chair with 3 legs, a table without a top, a cabinet with no doors. Every corner held the ghost of an abandoned dream. When neighbors asked, "Marcus, when will that bookshelf be ready?" he'd smile nervously and say, "Soon. I just need to work on something else first." But soon never came. His father, a respected carpenter, would visit the workshop and sigh deeply. "My son," he'd say, shaking his head, "a carpenter is measured not by how many projects he starts, but by how many he finishes." Marcus would nod, promise to do better, and then start another project. This time will be different, he'd tell himself. But within days, a new idea would spark, a better design, a more exciting challenge, and the half-finished project would join the others, gathering dust. Every night, Marcus lay in bed, the weight of his incomplete tasks pressing on his chest like a heavy stone. He'd whisper to the darkness, "Why can't I finish what I start? What's wrong with me?" One spring morning, Marcus got the opportunity of a lifetime. The mayor's daughter was getting married and wanted a special hand-carved wooden chest. She came to his workshop, saw his talent in the half-finished pieces, and said, "I know you can create something magnificent. I'll pay you well. I need it in 3 months." Marcus's heart leaped. This was his chance to prove he could finish. He accepted immediately. For the first 2 weeks, he worked with passion. The chest began to take shape, the carvings exquisite. But then, he saw a design for a small jewelry box in a book. "Just a small project," he told himself. "I'll finish it quickly, then return to the chest." But that small project led to another idea, and then another. 3 months passed, like water through his fingers. The wedding day arrived. The chest sat in the corner of his workshop, still unfinished. Marcus stood at his door, listening to the wedding bells ring in the distance. He had lost the job, the money, and his reputation. But worse, he had lost respect for himself. He sat on the floor, surrounded by his failures, and for the first time in his life, he cried. He whispered, "I'm tired of being the man who almost did something great." That evening, broken and desperate, Marcus walked to the edge of the village where an old master carpenter named Samuel lived. Samuel was known for his perfect craftsmanship and his silence. Marcus knocked. Samuel opened the door, saw Marcus's red eyes, and simply said, "Come in." The workshop was immaculate. In the center sat a simple wooden stool, perfect in every detail. "Master Samuel," Marcus said, his voice shaking, "I can't finish anything. I have talent. I have ideas, but I can't complete what I start." "How do you do it?" Samuel didn't answer. Instead, he picked up a small block of wood and a carving knife. He sat down and began to carve, slowly and deliberately. After a few minutes of silence, he spoke. "Marcus, do you see this wood?" Marcus nodded. "Inside this wood is a spoon, but right now the spoon is trapped, invisible. My job is to remove everything that is not the spoon." He carved away a thin layer. If he stopped now, it's just damaged wood. Worthless. He carved another layer. If I stop now, it's still nothing. Just more damaged wood. He continued, stroke by patient stroke. He looked up at Marcus. "You see, you don't build a spoon. You reveal the spoon that is already there. You focus only on what you must remove next, one small piece at a time. The problem is not your hands, Marcus. The problem is your eyes. You see 1,000 different projects. I see only the one piece of wood I need to remove next." Marcus watched, mesmerized, as the old man continued to carve, each movement precise and focused. Samuel never looked up, never got distracted. He just kept removing what wasn't the spoon. Finally, Samuel held up a perfectly smooth, beautifully crafted wooden spoon. He handed it to Marcus. You don't need more ideas, you need less. You don't need more projects, you need fewer. Pick one thing. Just one. And every day, your only job is to remove what is not the finished project. Ignore everything else. Remove the distractions. Remove the new ideas. Remove the guilt from yesterday. Just focus on the next cut. Marcus held the spoon in his hand. It felt solid, complete. He looked at the old master, his eyes filled with understanding. He finally understood the secret. It wasn't about adding more effort or finding more passion. It was about taking things away. He went back to his workshop. He looked at the unfinished chest. He didn't see a huge, overwhelming project anymore. He saw a single piece of wood that needed sanding, a single hinge that needed to be attached. He covered all his other unfinished projects with a large cloth, out of sight, out of mind. His only focus was the chest. He worked day after day, not on the whole chest, but on the next step. And slowly, piece by piece, he removed everything that was not the finished chest. A month later, he delivered the chest to the mayor's daughter as a late wedding gift, with a note of apology. She was so moved by its beauty and his honesty that she paid him double. From that day on, Marcus's workshop changed. It was no longer a graveyard of dreams, but a birthplace of finished masterpieces. He became the most sought-after carpenter in the region, not just for his talent, but for his reliability. He only ever worked on one thing at a time, trying to build 1,000 things at once. Instead, pick one. Just one thing that matters to you. And every day, ask yourself, what is the one small piece I can remove today that is on the finished version? Remove that distraction. Remove that excuse. Remove that one small obstacle. And before you know, if I start with a block of wood and just shave off a few pieces, I've only made a mess. But if I keep going, removing one layer, then another, never stopping until a spoon emerges, then I've created something complete, something useful, something valuable. Every project has a wilderness period. The beginning is exciting new ideas, new possibilities. The end is satisfying completion, pride, results, but the middle. The middle is where dreams go to die. The middle is hard, boring, and frustrating. You start to doubt yourself, and shiny new ideas seem way more exciting. That's when most people quit. But here's the secret. Finishing isn't about motivation. Motivation always fades. Finishing is about commitment to the process, even when it's no longer exciting. I want you to try something for the next 30 days. Choose one project, just one, the smallest, simplest thing you've left unfinished, and make a promise. You will touch that project every single day, even if it's just for 10 minutes, until it's done, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's boring, even when a better idea comes along. Finish one thing, just one, because the person who can finish one thing can finish anything. Imagine a man named Marcus. His workshop was a graveyard of unfinished projects. He chose the simplest piece, a small wooden stool he started months ago, needing only a few hours of work. His sight alohut. I will finish this one. The next morning, before his mind could make excuses, he worked on the stool for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. It wasn't glamorous, but it did Italiana. Day 2, 10 minutes. Day 3, 10 minutes. On day 5, a brilliant new idea for a mirror frame hit him. His hands itched to start, but he remembered his promise. He touched the stool instead. 10 minutes. Some days, he only did 10 minutes. Other days, once he started, he worked for an hour because the momentum carried him. But he never, ever skipped a day. On day 12, something shifted. The stool was nearly finished. He could see the end, and for the first time in years, he felt a forgotten feeling. Pride. Not pride in starting, but pride in continuing. On day 23, the stool was complete. He placed it in the center of his workshop and sat on it. It held his weight perfectly. It was simple, but it was finished. Whole. And he felt a damn release inside him. He finally understood. He wasn't broken, he just needed to learn how to finish. He chose a second project, then a third, using the same rule. Touch it every day until it's complete. His workshop transformed from a graveyard into a gallery of finished work, each piece a testament to his commitment. This story isn't just about carpentry. It's about you. It's about every single one of us who has started something with passion but left it incomplete. The truth is, finishing is a skill, not a talent. And like any skill, it can be learned. Remember 3 things. First, the middle is always hard. That's not a sign you should quit. It's a sign you're on the same path every successful person has walked. Second, finished is better than perfect. A completed, simple project is worth more than 10 brilliant ideas that exist only in your head. And third, touch it daily, even for 10 minutes. Consistency beats motivation every single time. So, here is my challenge to you. Look around your life at the half-read books, the abandoned goals, the projects you started but left behind. Choose one. Just one. The smallest one. And make a promise to yourself for the next 30 days. You will touch that project every single day, even for just 10 minutes, until it is complete. Because the moment you finish one thing, you prove to yourself that you can finish anything. And that changes everything. You are not a person who can't finish. You're a person who just hasn't learned how to finish yet. But today, that changes. If this story gave you the push you needed, please give this video a like and share it with someone who has dreams collecting dust. Drop a comment telling me the one project you're going to finish in the next 30 days. Let's hold each other accountable. I'll be back with another story to keep you growing. Until then, remember, stop starting. Start finishing.